You wake up, it's 2050. What do you Google first? My bank details. Interest. Too bad interest doesn't beat inflation. Also hard to accrue much on $0. That would be fucking fun. I'd finally have a reason to go outside. Until you realize it's summer and climate change hasn't been stopped. So it's like 55 deg.C. It was like 40 deg.C in the shadow last summer. So probably more. Time Travelers 2020. The best answer TBH. I'll definitely Google it if I wake up in 2050. Hey Siri, set reminder. Lol, my Google Home will let you set a reminder for up to 99.99 days, 23 hours and 559 minutes. Needless to say, the future will hear my drunken rambles. How to avoid debt collectors. 30 years of no payments. My debt would be crazy. And I know, as soon as my face and DNA shows up on the radars, the repo men would be coming for my organs. You were kinda dead for 30 years. If it's known that you're one of the people who actually stopped existing for 30 years, you maybe could justify it in court. Turns on incognito mode. Hand reaches out of monitor and jacks you off. The plot thickens. So does the 30 years of sitting there, and it'd be like mayonnaise. My man's balls are shooting lotion after that long. My name. Got to find out if there was a major disturbance over my disappearance, or if nobody actually noticed. No results. Same as today. Same as it ever was. He searched for his name with a soft little sigh, a hope in his heart and a tear in his eye, a dream that he'd see it in stories abound. He looked for the answer. It said, nothing found. 404. How much longer until the Winds of Winter release date is announced? Sometime after Patrick Rothfuss announces the release date to Kingkiller Chronicles Book 3. Meanwhile, Brandon Sanderson has written 500 Cosmere books and finished 5 different series for authors that died too soon. When did Betty White pass away? Betty White, 1856, present. God bless that woman. I'd Google things you wouldn't believe were considered okay to say 30 years ago. Mars colony. In the late 2010s and early 2020s, several private companies and governments briefly considered sending humans to Mars. It turned out nobody wanted to spend 2 years on a cramped spacecraft pooping in a bag just to die on a rock without internet access. You'd have internet access. Your ping would just be 360 ms to 2700 ms. So just what playing Apex is like now. So it's not just me? Is Putin still the president of Russia? Man, he will never stop. P.S. I'm Russian. I think so. Putin also has the power to live eternally just like Queen Elizabeth. Good conspiracy theory. Best things to Google in 2050. The number one thing to Google in 2050 is Tabawian. You're taken aback, wondering if the entire world knows about you, knows that you don't belong. The pressure mounts, and you want to hide away in a burrow and wait for your strange fame to die down. But everything is connected to cameras in 2050. You're being watched from 4,000 directions at once, burning under all the eyes like an ant under a magnifying glass. You wonder if you shouldn't just get it over with and end your own life. Seems easier than having the entire world staring at you 24/7. Then you begin to worry that the search result is AI selected specifically to drive you to such a conclusion, and maybe all the searches are by people who want to watch videos of you ending it before you even chose to do so. Could an AI be so intelligent that it selected a search result that becomes a perfect self-fulfilling prophecy? It's about this time you learn that in 2050, Tabawian is a VR full immersion experiential website that sells lots and lots of hentai with full haptics and goo splash effects with your home 4D nozzle. You spend the next 3 weeks browsing their content, but in subspace, it feels like 3 years. Plot twist: Google doesn't exist anymore. Bing takes over after people use it jokingly on April Fools, but never stop. 2050 won't be that advanced then, but there sure will be widespread access to high quality porn. Is Elizabeth II still alive? No. She held on until her son, Charles, passed away so he would never be king. Who knew spite alone could keep you alive? Larry David, in season 10 of Curb. I wanna see if I can catch up with the times through memes alone. And everybody will call you. Insert replacement for boomer meme. Alright Zoomer. Latest lockdown restrictions and links to 8G. Hopefully it will be more like a utopia, not a dystopia. Has Yandeer Simulator's development been completed yet? Nope, but I have good news. Asana's development is 97% complete as of the 1st of January 2050, up from 96%. I'd just go back to sleep, mate. Mood. I'm reading this from bed. Tom Brady's current team. He went back to the Patriots in 2021 and has won 10 more Super Bowls. Bill's son is now head coach. Further results show he would have won 4 more, but Eli kept coming out of retirement to do his sworn duty for the Giants. Coronavirus Pandemic 2020. Showing results for Coronavirus Pandemic 2020 to 2050. Sorry we didn't recognize that request. Searching instead for the Great Plague 2020 to 2046. You might also mean the End Times or the Black Death. Reloaded. The Plague 2. Electric Boogaloo. My own name. I have metastatic cancer and a prognosis of about 10 years. I want to know why I'm alive in 2050 and what I managed to get done between now and when I went to sleep. My mom battled metastatic breast and bone cancer for 16 years, which was about 10 years longer than her prognosis. She always said her hope and optimism was what got her through. Wishing you years of health and happiness. You can do it. Internet high five to her. That gives me hope. Pity you. Hope you will get remission. Thanks. The chances are low, but I'm trying to make the best of the life I have left. Is Amazon still out of toilet paper? The Amazon was completely cleared out, along with the redwood forests of North America, in order to try and keep up with demand. Unfortunately, even this was not enough. Now trees are seen as a luxury property and only those of the highest class may have one in their backyard.